So let's continue with what we have seen till now. Print my render data. Yeah. So this is what we have seen. Like, we had a template. It's a simple variable, and then we try to like print the data as per the template. Now we'll try to create a for loop and then print the list of some of the routers. Let's start with the usual building template. So we'll say, what was the previous name? Okay, it would say list variables jinja2.py. As usual, we'll first start with our template. Now it's going to be a bit big. It's not going to fit in a single line, right? So for the list, right, and if you go back, where is jinja2 intro? Yeah. So the for loop, it says for item in sequence, you need to do something like that. So let's copy it for the comfort and let's try to refer it here. So we'll say, okay, for item in some sequence, you have an input. What we know for sure is like this is the one which our variable will contain. So before building the template, let's build the variable or the data. So we'll say data. It should be a dictionary, of course. You need a list of routers, and within the list of routers, you're going to iterate through a list of routers. So we'll say R1, R2, R3, R4, right? Perfect. So these are the list of routers, and you have to print router name is so and so. Fantastic. So how do I start? Obviously, it's a for loop, and it will start with a curly bracket and a percentage sign, and we'll say for router in routers, right? This is my main variable which contained all the routers, and close this. Router name is, what's the variable here? This is my variable, and we'll say the variable is always represented by double curly braces. We'll say it's the router. And how does the for loop should end? With an end for. So I'll say end my for loop. So that's my template. We no longer need this. And now this template has to be fed into the jinja2 template. So we'll say from jinja2 import template for me, and we'll say load my template equal to template and my template. Now render my data into template equal to load my template. Please use render. What data I have to use is my data. What does my final output look like? And let's get some space. And sure enough, like it's saying router name is R1, R2, and R3, R4. That's exactly what our intention was. I think now you're trying to get an idea. So generally, what happens from now on is like the template file is not defined within the program. It's being defined somewhere else in a version control system along with your programming. So people who are working in the modification of the template, they'll only modify the template. They don't have to modify the entire code base, for example, right? They can just add on a new functionality to the code on how they parse some of the logic, but we'll see it next. Now, just to close this off, let's try to do one last thing, which has a dictionary, a list, and a dictionary within a list. Now, what do I mean by that? So first, let's say dict list jinja2 p1. I'll make it fast, so we'll use most of it as is. What I'm saying is, let's say my name is R1, and let's say location is L1. This is one dictionary for us, so let's do it for another 3. Let's take 3, that's more than enough. 2, location is L2, name is R3, location is L3. Fantastic. Now, how do I access this one? So the data is still the routers. For the router in routers, my router name is, it's a dictionary now. It will be router.name. Just like how you do it in like the Python. And you'll say router location is router.location, and you'll end the for loop. Now let's see. So pretty much the router name is R1, the router location is L1. This is how you would access the variables which are within a dictionary and which map to a list, and that's mapped to a dictionary again. Where will we use this? We'll quickly see in the next video on how we can use this knowledge to apply it for generating a networking configuration. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next.